I am joined now at the big American monitor by the sports savant, 17-year-old Mason Kern, better known as the sports watchdog.
Woo, here we go.
All right, here we go. NBA playoffs.
Yes.
Let's start right there. So lopsided. Is it? I say boring, you say?
I think it's worth watching. I mean, I understand how some people might think that super teams like the Cavaliers even and the Golden State Warriors, they're kind of running away with it. They're undefeated in all their series, but it doesn't mean that players aren't playing with passion, and there's still some exciting moments. I mean, for true NBA fans, I think that the playoffs are always worth watching, and we'll probably see another rematch between the Warriors and the Cavaliers. Yeah, with injuries to San Antonio. I mean, I had them before, but injuries kind of messed that up.
Mason, the Celtics are down by 41 points at halftime.
They're trying their best. Come on, they're trying.
Lakers pick second in the draft card next month. The ball kid, worth picking, or is it too much trouble?
No, I think he's definitely worth picking. I mean, he's a player who's going to become an immediate impact on the Lakers roster. I think the X factor on the up for the Lakers is that they're in desperate need of a true point guard, and he's going to fill that gap right away. If you look at just his playing ability, not at LeVar Ball's antics, all that stuff, if you just look at him as a player, he's going to come in and be an extremely great addition for their backcourt alongside Jordan Clarkson and D'Angelo Russell. So I think he's a great fit.
Let's switch to baseball. Jose Bautista, another incident triggering bat flip.
Yeah.
Should MLB, with the excessive celebration, should they follow in the footsteps of, say, the NFL, maybe suspend those kids as well?
That's what I'm thinking. I like you said, the NFL already has these rules in place. I think other sports should try to parallel that as well. I mean, the disrespectful behavior that Bautista has shown, I mean, it's not the first time that he started a fight. And when he hit his homer and did that bat flip, they were losing 8-4. So that was just blatant disrespect. There was really no need for him to do that in the first place. So him doing that is just, it's kind of throwing a bird at the other team. And also, they retaliated, and that's not a good image for the MLB. So I think they need to take action. All
right, so let's switch gears to the NFL. We now know that the Chargers, due to these Noah's Ark-style rain in 2017, the stadium, its opening in Inglewood, will be pushed back 1 year. That means the Chargers now will spend 3 years at the StubHub Center. Yeah. Question, will Phillip Rivers ever put on a football uniform inside that home locker room at Inglewood?
At this point, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, this X factor on the down for Rivers, he's 35. His contract's expiring in 2018. He does have a 2019 option, but they're also trying to revamp a fan base that was left behind in San Diego. Now that they're in Los Angeles, and they're going to be spending 3 years in this new stadium that only seats 27,000 people, they're trying to revitalize and rebuild a fan base that I don't know Phillip Rivers has the energy to stick around for after his contract expires.
All right, let's move to the MLS. Debate in the KUSI sports department. Is the MLS the 5th biggest sport in Northern America, yes or no?
I think it's definitely shaping up to be. I mean, the X factor for the MLS is that their average attendance per game is already higher than the NBA and NHL, so there's definitely fan support for MLS teams. And also you have European...
In 3 cities.
In 3 cities. You do have foreign players like Kaká and Andre Pirlo, who used to be stars in the European League, coming over to the MLS. That only increases fan support for them. And you see Sounders, you have so many good teams who have so much high potential. I think the numbers show that it could be a good fit.
Name 3 players in the MLS.
Oh, like I said, you have Kaká, Andre Pirlo, Gyasi Zardes.
All right, you win that one.
Okay, there we go.
X Games. We had Jeremy Green in studio yesterday. We were talking about helmet safety. In San Diego, if you're an 18 or if you're under the age of 18, you have to wear a helmet while riding a bicycle. Should the same rule apply to kids riding skateboards?
I think it needs to be consistent, whether or not you're wearing a helmet, riding a bicycle, or riding a skateboard. I think the laws need to be consistent because the laws are in place due to safety statistics. So whether or not that rule is in place, I think for similar activities such as riding a bike and riding a skateboard, whether or not you're riding a helmet should be consistent between both.
Okay. Secondly, we had Mac McBride from Del Mar in studio talking about the Preakness. This is Mac McBride's prediction on who will win Saturday's race.
I believe that the Derby winner, Always Dreaming, will win it. I think I've got a little long shot for you if you'd like to play a price. This horse will be about 30 or 40 to 1. His name is Multiplier. Throw him in there in your exactas and your trifectas, but I don't think they beat Always Dreaming.
All right, so that, you heard him. He's going with the favorite. Your thoughts?
It's kind of coincidence because I'm going Always Dreaming as well. I mean, he's coming off 4 straight wins, just most recently won the Kentucky Derby, and that's his X factor on the up, riding really well right now. He is the 2nd fastest horse. He has the second highest speed rating. The only other horse is competing against grade 3 horses, though, and Always Dreaming is competing against grade 1 horses. So that is a really clear distinction, and I think all those factors culminate in order to make him win the Preakness.
Mason, you hit it out of the park.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what. one Friday night when you're back from school, you have to come and try to narrate highlights on the ASR and do the late night show.
I would love that.
Are you allowed to stay up that late?
Oh, of course,
okay,
yeah.
That's Mason Kern. He's a sports watchdog. Coming up tonight on the ASR, we have highlights from 12 playoff games. Matt Milburn and Mike Milburn and Matt Gilson will join me on that ride. Plus, we'll have Padre highlights and all the other day's sporting news, including the Boston Celtics are laying an egg. Man, they shouldn't even get on the plane and go back to Cleveland, right?
Honestly, I don't think they
All
have a
right,
chance.
throw it back to the news anchors.